Hello everyone, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. We are still haven't started. We're still in January 1936, but we have sorted out our things quite a little bit. And our current situation is that we will be working towards the Marco Polo Bridge incident, and we'll be moving all our troops over here. We do have to move our navy around a little bit. Especially, we are going to have the submarine divisions dealing with all kinds of trade interdiction. So we're going to get our submarine divisions, which are actually relatively well experienced. The rest of the navy is not, but the submarine divisions aren't too bad. We're going to get them to kill all overseas trade that the Chinese might be doing. So we're gonna get you into convoy raiding here. We're gonna get you into convoy raiding in the East China Sea. We're gonna get you into. You actually need to be refitted, but you can be convoy raiding in the Yellow Sea, and you can be not convoy escorting. Convoy raiding, that's actually all, is there? Okay. So we get you as well onto convoy raiding. And you may as well, we're going to get you to raid any convoys that are getting through off the coast anywhere you can. I don't know who the Chinese would be trading with overseas, but we'll just get him also for convoy raiding. So this group of submarines, actually these two groups of submarines, so we might as well actually not use this one. We can get these all upgraded. So we can get these refitted, because these are currently the Row 26 design, which is the not quite as powerful design as the Kadai 3 design that we have. So these are better. They have more torpedo attack. And we are going to get, because we're not going to have fuel for quite a while, so we're not really going to use our navy, so we may as well just upgrade these guys and keep the dockyards busy. So I am going to get all these ships lined up for refit, and we're going to get these refitted into the Kadai 3 class. Okay, and these as well, because we don't really need them right now to do anything else. So we're going to get these also refitted into the Kadai 3s. Okay. So these two groups are refitting, and we've got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we've got 3 sea zones to cover, and we've got 3 and a tiny submarine group of submarines that we are going to be using to cover said area. All right, that's good. That's a good start. And we are going to start moving the 6th Fleet, more specifically the Carrier Group 1. We're going to start moving that over this way, because we are going to naval invade over here. So having them covering this area of the Yellow Sea lets us give them lets them give us air support. So we're going to get them to move over there. That's my carrier groups. I could refit Ryujo, but we can do that later. For now, we're going to get the strike forces set up in the various ports, such that they can, if they can spot the Chinese fleet, then they can take them on. So we're going to get Strike Force 1 to move over to Taiwan. We're going to get Strike Force 2 to move over to Okinawa. And then get Strike Force 3 set up over here in Kyushu. And Strike Force 4 can sit up north here. And then Strike Force 5 can stay home. We don't want too many of them also out there. We do have the escorts, which are not probably going to be needed. But we can also just position one of the strike for. I mean, Carrier Group 1 has enough firepower to do some coastal some coastal fire support. But we can also send one of the other strike forces out just to do some fire support for the naval invasion. So we'll probably get these guys sent out over there. Okay then. Now the first thing that we're really going to be needing to do is get all our troops moving to where they belong. So let's see if we unpause where everybody's moving to. Okay. It looks like these guys are not quite going where I want them to go. So we're going to need you people. I want them ready for naval invasion. So I want them to sit down south here. So I'm going to get you moving to a port. Yeah, you move down there. No, down there to port. And once they are over there, this is gonna cause all kinds of trouble with the supply situation. But we're just gonna get them moving up there while everybody is reorganizing themselves. And then once we have them in the port, and they're all running out of supply massively. Okay, and that should be most of them. Yeah. Okay, so we've got these 10. We're gonna move them over here to Nagasaki, from where they can join the rest of the gang and get ready for the naval invasion. And this group, where are we? Yeah, this group also needs to actually not be here, but be there. So we're gonna get you up to the port up north here. Is that going to happen? No, that isn't going to happen. Oh, because you are in Hiroshima. You need to move over to Nagasaki. So I'm going to get you moving over there. And then we can ferry you up north here to Dalian. Okay. So these are on the way. Do we have all the yeah, we've got all the 24 divisions sitting up here. Now the big question is, what does that look like supply wise? It's not great. So so this, we are not having any supply here. So we can try to increase the range of this supply hub here, such that it's also going to be able, because currently it's only covering the dark area. So if we're switching that to motorized, then it'll cover this area as well. But we are not having enough trucks for that. So we are going to have to wait for our trucks. And these guys, my colonial troops, are not happy up here. We need to move them probably a little bit further behind. Somewhere in the area of Mukden, maybe. There might be more supply back there. So let's delete that defensive line and just find them a place to stay for now, because they are not really helpful here. And I don't want to exhaust the supply anymore on the front line. So we're going to pull them a little bit further back and see what that looks like supply-wise. And we can see if let's see if they can support themselves. They can be supported over there. It doesn't look too great, does it? Okay, it doesn't look though. It doesn't look as if they're out of supply. So maybe we'll just take. What did I press here? Sorry. What is that window? How did I? Oh, okay. Don't know what that was, but let's move half of them over into another province. Okay, first we've got the Kodoha faction purged. That gives us more stability. And we have problems with garrisoning, and that's not down to manpower. That is down to the fact that we don't have weapons. So these people don't have weapons. They are not armed. So what we can do is, because we don't want to run into problems. Actually, what are we using as a garrison template? That is correct. That is the right garrison template. And yeah, we don't want the resistance to kick up a big fuss here, especially in China. So we are going to ask our puppets for. Okay, they don't have anyone to garrison. Can we? Yes, so we can ask Manchukuo to help with the garrisons. And so if they accept that, although it doesn't look like we are actually we are actually necessarily too bad in a position. But Manchukuo is sending 56,000 Chinese to do the garrisoning for us, which is perfect, which is what we want. Okay, so next up is the liaison conference, which gives every army leader an additional planning skill, which is nice. So we're going to be doing that. I do realize that we could go down this branch and actually get another research slot, but I really want to kick off. I really want to rush the Marco Polo Bridge incident before the Chinese have a chance to to get themselves upgraded in all manner of things. So we are short on everything as usual, but we're gonna grab the liaison conference next, just so we can get there as quickly as possible. We can hire somebody for the Army High Command. That would be a specialist, but yeah, that's not. We are going to need High Command very urgently, especially a naval command. And I am thinking of we can either get the naval aviation expert, or we can get the decisive battle expert. Both are good. I'm sort of leaning towards the decisive battle a little bit more, but we need 100 political power for that. And the first political power I want to use is to get myself the silent workhorse to just get a little bit more political power, because the Zaibatsus are limiting what we're getting here quite a bit. And we do have a national focus to, I think, deal with that. That adds, no, that I think that just adds, that just makes things a little bit more efficient in terms of construction speed, but the political powers problems are still going to be there. So that's just something we'll have to live with. So the first 150 army XP are going to go towards the silent workhorse, and then we will start building up, especially naval XP, because we don't have fuel to train. Actually, let's use, that reminds me, we need to train our Air Force, because these are all rookies. So these guys need to train up, and these guys need to train up, and these guys need to train up as well. And that is already going to stretch our fuel consumption quite a bit. And we might actually, what are we using fuel for? Is that from the, let's see. So Navy is currently using fuel quite a bit. Is that from the submarines? Are they actually commerce raiding? We might have to tell them to stop that for now. Yeah, don't commerce raid. For now, we're not at war, there's no commerce to raid. So if that means you're moving already, I would have thought that they're not doing that while we're not at war. Does that... yeah, okay, Navy has gone down. Okay, Navy is no longer consuming fuel. So we had to tell them to stop that. But because the Air Force is going to need to get trained. These guys are sitting there. So we can start... Do we have all of them up here by now? We do need some more divisions, but we don't have the equipment. These guys are going to start planning a naval invasion. So we've got 6 divisions here. We might want to bring 5 in the because I also want to invade around Nanjing here, and I want to invade up north here. We might bring these 6 around, and maybe 5 of them, because we can only get 10 at the same time. So we want them to come from here, and we want them to take the port of Qingdao, Qingdao, I'm not sure, but that's where we want them to go. And we'll all, yeah, all of you get there, and we want the, okay, so that order is on the way, and we want can get another 6 out of you. We're going to plan a naval invasion from Nagasaki, and we are going to invade Shanghai pretty much. So the plan is here to land in Shanghai and around, which is going to be difficult because Shanghai is actually defended. but it is, we could land, is this a port? I'm not sure if this is a port, but that's also, so they are defending their ports. So we're going to try and take Shanghai with that second invasion. And we should have enough enough support. I know that these are not special forces. I might actually try and see if I can train another one of the yes, I can. So let's try to train another one of these, because we are desperately out of material, and see if we can get them on here such that they can, because the Marines are much better at invading. So I really prefer having them around, and then getting everybody else on board here. And then once we've got the beachhead, then we can start pulling the rest of these troops out. Which reminds me, where are the rest of them? There's one here, there's one here, there's one there. Okay, they're scattered all over the countryside and they have no way of getting home. So we need all of you people to move to Busan. And then from there, I can't do this in one order. But once they're there, I need them to move over here. There's a couple of, is that all of them? There's still a couple of home defense troops, but I think I've got all the other defense troops up here north. Yeah, they're all settled. So we are not yet going to get. Yeah, we can't. We could get an army offense specialist, but I would probably prefer. It gives us division attack. I would prefer the out of supply penalty one. That sounds more. That sounds more like something I could use. And he also gives more army XP. So yeah, we're not yet going to do this, but okay. I think we've got everything right now sort of under control. How's our supply situation? Nagasaki is fine. Have we managed to build the railroads? Not yet. Kanto Tokyo definitely needs to happen. But we're not in a terrible supply situation, except for up north here, where we obviously don't really care. So we get everybody to move out from there. And once they have made their way down south, then we can ferry them over to where we need them for supporting our invasion. But yeah, right now we're just rushing this. Oh, I need to check the. I need to check these things. The second London Naval Conference is going on. There's not much I can do. I can cheat on the treaties, but it costs me 50 political power to do so. Or I can abandon the treaties. Given that, I don't really have anything I want to construct right now. The things that I'm missing are good scout cruisers and anti-submarine warfare destroyers. And then obviously better carriers and better battleships and everything got down the road. And better fleet screen destroyers. But we're lacking the destroyer tech. So we're not going to build any of these. Which means we don't really need to cheat on the treaties, I think, because the cruiser models we have right now, we don't really want to deal with that. We can eventually abandon the treaties, but I'll just keep that in mind. We can cause some trouble with the Soviets, but I think we decided that we didn't want to mess with the Soviets at this point. We don't need war propaganda. We have all the stability we need, so we don't need any of this. We could gain 15 trains for 5 stability, but we're actually good on trains, so I'm not going to do that either. This is important because this gives us, one of them gives us oil, yes, so we could get some oil, which is really important. We do have the inter-service rivalry, and this is a very interesting, and I'm not also going to do that one. We have the choice of, and this might be something we need to take early. We can call the steel for guns versus steel for ships. We're not going to build ships right now. Ships come later. We need to fight on the land first in order to get the war against China out of the way as quickly as humanly possible before everything goes to hell. So this will give us 4 military factories for 30 command power, and it increases our factory output but slows down the dockyards, and that's okay. So there are 4 pairs of decisions, and each of them is between army and navy. So I want the steel for guns for the army, which balances us towards the army. So the next one is I want to have the naval aircraft construction, which balances us back towards the Navy, which is a bit unfortunate because the tactical bomber is pretty nice, but we are going to get the 0 as a naval fighter, and this gets the production cost down by 20% for the carrier-based things. So this is a good decision for the Navy. We don't need it yet. And here once again we can go by draft exemptions to improve the Navy, and then we are probably going to once again give one to the army just so that it's balanced. But right now steel for guns I think is a good decision right now because it increases our factory output, which we need urgently, and it gives us 4 military factories which we can use as well. So we're going to do that, and we want to be notified when that happens again. I don't really want to I'm not sure if that's for me or if that's for the other troops. It doesn't cost any. No, it does. Our political power doesn't increase, and I really need my political power for other stuff. So we're not doing that right now. Okay, and that's the timeout on the second London Naval Conference, which we will just silently accept as just what it is. So let's wait for our troops to arrive down in Busan. Okay, engineering is done. So next up, more computers for faster research, because our research is dreadfully slow. And we do have 3 military factories, obviously. Given our deficit in rifles, I am going to put 3 of them into guns. Actually, did we only get 2 of them? I thought we got 3 or 4. Anyway, we'll put them into guns. We definitely need more bombers, but we currently neither have aluminum nor rubber, and so this is just going to run. I'm not going to trade for it just now, but why is the convoy up here? This is above the refit, that's why. No, these all need to be at the bottom, so well, that's fine. These will get refitted once the Soryu is done. And once the Fubuki is done, then we get through the refits. We have more refits, but once the naval dockyards become available again, we can refit a couple of other things. Okay, what was I doing? Yes, so we wait for the army to arrive down south. Actually, these troops, there are some green troops here, so we can actually exercise these as well. That will give us a little bit of experience, but at the cost of material, which we don't have much of. Okay, Ethiopia has gone down. I will do an Ethiopia run at some point and defeat Italy. This is something I'm just super excited about to do at some point, but not today. So we'll just wait for all the troops. Naval treaty signed. Okay. And we've got 3 military factories. Why do we have 3 military factories? Not sure where they came from. There's 1, okay. Not sure where that came from. I didn't build any, did I? No, I didn't build any. Yeah, we need more guns, so I'm going to put that in guns. And because we have to get rid of that deficit, because especially the defense troops here are somewhat under-equipped. I think these guys, well, they're starting to fill up, but these guys were missing equipment, and I really don't want to stand up there with missing equipment. That'd be bad. Okay, what was I doing? Yes, so we're just waiting for these troops to get down here. And they can actually stay there, so they're not exhausting. Are they exhausting the supply over there? No, they're not. So they can stay there. These are here just to move in after the initial invasion has happened. Now, do we have naval superiority in these regions? Naval supremacy. We don't, because we don't have anyone on missions, but we can always designate Strike Force 3 for naval support. So that's, and assign you to this region and this region, so that should sort that out. And we can also get you naval invasion support, so that should not be a problem. We should have naval supremacy without any issues and get them out there. The rest of them is just training. Still not enough manpower. We still have problems with our occupied territories. but it looks like the resistance is going down. Can I ask for any more garrison support? No, and you're already doing that. Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, you're giving manpower, and they've got expeditionary forces. This is all going to give them more independence, by the way, which is fine. I'll deal with them later at some point. For now, we are going to get ready to deal with the Chinese, and that is what we want to do. Now, I am going to start creating an agency, even though, how am I on construction? Okay, I'm still not through that. I might need to deprioritize these. Okay, we'll deprioritize you, and I want these done before we. How much longer do we have? We've got 140 days still. Okay, and this is not yet finished anyway. Okay, so that's all good. I do want to get the fortifications done here for this line. Okay, liaison conference is done. And we can create the Greater East Asian Co-Prosperity Sphere, which means that I prosper and you don't. We do have enough now. We need the political power for the silent workhorse. That is really essential. Okay, how's our construction doing? We might just build one here for now. I just want to finish up that civilian factory. When is that going to be done? In June still. Oh, it's taking forever. And more free. I don't know where these come from. Maybe from the reduced. How do you call it? Resistance. That might be. But yeah, we're still behind on guns and support equipment. So yeah, just build things as much as you can, because we are going to be at war with the Chinese in not a very long time, and I want my troops to be up to scratch. Okay, that research is done, and basic machine tools are done. Okay, yeah, our research is dreadful, so we are going to desperately need that. We are going to need radios, but we're also going to need to improve our industry. I am going to go with dispersed here, just because it makes it easier to switch around. So that's going to be the first. And we, anything else? We've got RT. We could research the RT improvements. These are still ahead of time, way ahead of time. I don't want to start with the naval research yet. I could also start the 1936 tactical bombers. Yeah, I'll probably start that. Okay, just so we can start switching that over as soon as possible. Okay. Anyway, the first month of the conflict are going to be defensive on our side, just because, you know, we're not going to be doing an awful lot. These people are sitting there now. Okay, do we have anybody who's scattered around the islands who shouldn't be? Okay, no, we have nobody left there. We've got 2 divisions down here. You are not supposed to be here. You are supposed to be over there. So you move over there. Nice. And we have to stop exercising the troops. These are that's the first. Oh, first army needs to exercise as well. Yes, first army needs to exercise. You are exercising. You're good. You're good, and you're foreign anyway. I don't care about you. Okay, so we don't want to burn through too much equipment. We do have some surplus of artillery, but that's because we don't actually have support artillery in these. And I am going to need the army XP, but before we can get through that, I really need the 120 PP to get the silent workhorse to somewhat offset these Zaibatsus that we have there. How's our resistance looking? Resistance. We do have a little bit of resistance around here, but it's not terrible. And yeah, this is all manageable. We're going to need to get ourselves a spy at some point, but right now I want to get through these constructions here as quickly as possible, just so we can support our troops. So we're already in June, and this is not going to be long anymore until we are going to. That's 25 factories. Okay, let's get the trains done, and then the fortifications here. And it's not going to be that long anymore. How's our deficit? We're getting there. We're still increasing. Yeah, we're still increasing efficiency. and yeah, this should be fine. Okay, we've got 150 political power, so silent workhouse, yes. I need all the income of political power that I can possibly get. The earlier you get them, the more you get out of them, pretty much. Okay, once the co-prosperity sphere is done, I'll stop exercising the troops, at least these troops. And Spain declares war on Spain. Yeah, let them do that. I need 10 army XP. So the very next thing we're gonna get with our political power is what are we gonna get? We could get ourselves an infantry expert. Do we have any geniuses? We have an air combat training genius, which is not helpful because I need infantry. I need army XP in order to sort out my division templates, and to get the because I want to switch the doctrine. So right now we are on the trench warfare doctrine. I want to switch over to superior firepower, just because I am not planning to defend very much, and that is a much better doctrine for that. And what we absolutely need is we are on the base strike doctrine for the Navy. That is correct. So we definitely want that because that's a carrier focus. We don't have an air doctrine yet. I am thinking of operational integrity, just to use our tactical bombers to better effect. And but we do need a chief of navy, one of these two, to get us some naval experience, because we're not going to be able to exercise our navy very much. Just because we just don't have the fuel for it. Okay, the Air Force is done training, so we're going to gather up as fuel as much as we can. We need to start trading for it at some point, probably with Venezuela. But we also need to start trading for rubber and possibly for aluminium, because we don't have enough of any of these things. So we are building up a bit of infrastructure to hopefully help with some of the resource problems that we're having. But especially the tactical bombers are going to need that. Okay, have I done anything? Yes. So once that is done, I will stop exercising the troops. Okay, construction is done. That should speed things up a little bit at least. That's still ahead of time. I am going to stay... Okay, I'm going to need radio. That is very essential. So radio research next. But I am going to stay up to date with the excavation things. Militarism isn't helping, and limited exports isn't helping either. But we could get up to export focus of free trade just for the research speed, because we have an awful lot of research, especially on the Navy, to do, and it's going to be a while until we get to the point that we can catch up with research. But yeah, there's only you can't focus on everything at the same time, right? Okay, so Greater East Asian co-prosperity sphere is done. So we can now invite people to the faction, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for the Marco Polo Bridge incident. And we're going to need a lot of XP. So the probably the only... I am even thinking of just getting a chief of navy instead of getting the army officer. Because... we are going to need political power to escalate the war with China, which gets gradually rid of these problems, because we are going to have the bridge incident defense debuff, which we don't really want to have. So yeah, everybody stop training and get ready to do what you're doing. Okay, and I think we've got everybody set up. Yeah, Chinese United Front is forming, so they're all joining up with each other right now against us, which is perfect, because that means if we defeat China, the other ones are going to collapse because they're technically in a faction. So how's my construction? My construction is getting there, so my land forts are being built up, and we should. How's our supply lines? Can we? We should be able to. We should be able to hold here. This is not something I've tried before, so bear with me. Why do we have 12 divisions? Why do we have them so weirdly distributed? Out of these, can we maybe like send 1, 2, 3 over? So 9, 8, 7. Can we send 3 over there? Are you going to be in agreement with that game? No. You want... okay. You want more divisions over there. I see a lot of divisions here, but okay. Game decides it wants 6 over there, 10 over there, 8 over there. Okay. So there are a lot of Chinese divisions, and we're going to have to dig in here. We have 3 dockyards at this point. So, okay, we're done with the refits. Okay, perfect. That means we can get some of our older strike forces which aren't doing anything. We've got these Momi class destroyers here, which we're currently abusing as, but these are complete garbage, using as fleet screens. So we're going to get all these guys, since we're not really using that strike force right now, and it gives us something to do. We're going to get you upgraded to Fubukis, okay, and we've got Miyoko class. We can't upgrade because they are too expensive. It's over the maximum for this class, so we can't really upgrade the heavy cruisers, which is okay. I'm not really that keen on using the heavy cruisers for all that much. I'm more thinking along the lines of fast battleships or battle cruisers plus carriers plus screening ships and all these kind of things. So what we're going to do is well, we'll see if this holds, but we should be done with the fortifications by the time the Marco Polo Bridge incident happens, and hopefully they can hold against the Chinese. Otherwise, we're pulling the colonial forces in to reinforce here. So, but we should have. Let's set up the air already, such that they can get here. So we're going to get these guys. What do we have? TAC bombers and fighters. So air superiority and close air support. And I want you over the northern China region. These guys can't really help out because they don't have the range. And this airport cannot support them. And these guys are not yet going to be coming into effect quite yet. And I want you to be on naval strike in case we spot any of the Chinese things. All right, and then we're going to get the submarines also out as well, and all this kind of stuff. I just want them to be ready, and yeah, we can pull these troops in if we need to, and the naval invasions should take some heat of this whole thing. So let's see how this goes. We might be sending the one down to down here first, and see if we can pull some troops off. This one, actually, you're on invasion support. I don't think I'll need you on invasion support. I can get you just over here. Yeah, I get you over here and hold there, so you can give. So we've got Haruna, Kongo, Mogami, and a couple of other ships here. We get them over here to give some naval gunfire support. Okay, so these are over here. Why do I have you over here? Oh yeah, you were here for fire support as well. So I've got Carrier Group 1, Strike Force 3 over here, and I've got. Where are they? Yeah, I've got. No, that's Strike Force 3. That's Strike Force 3. Why is it showing it down here? Okay, this is confusing. Yeah, so that is Strike Force 5. Strike Force 5 is here for gunfire support. This is Carrier Group 1. So that is Carrier Group 1. They are here for air support for this invasion. And yeah, that all starts looking pretty reasonable. Once again, still my divisions aren't in the right shape. So we'll get to that once we can. Okay, yes. All right. Back to the army view. Once the fortress constructions are done, I am going to get. How long is this going to take? 21. That's going to take a couple of days. So once that is done, I'm going to get an intelligence agency, because things are going to get spicy. Yes, we could buy ourselves a cheap officer, but we don't really want them. I'm going to need 100 political power to. I need 100 political power to grab an officer that we want. And yeah, we're going to need naval experience a lot. So a lot of the high command is probably going to be naval focused, but we need all the experience. Air experience shouldn't be an issue so much. Okay, so that fortress construction is done, which means I am actually going to up it one more level and just bring these up top. But I am going to start now creating an intelligence agency. Section 3, off you go. Because we can definitely use some intel to help us. We need all the help we can get. We're going to be defensive at the beginning against the Chinese. But I'm going to end the episode once the Marco Polo Bridge incident is starting. I just want to see that happening. And then, yeah, we're going to need political power to, I think it's 25 to escalate and reduce the debuffs. So we're definitely going to be there. How's our equipment? Could be better. We're still 4,000 guns short, but we are definitely producing. We're definitely producing a good amount of artillery. We've caught up on the support equipment, and we are slowly catching up on the bombers because they don't have. We don't have any. We don't have the raw materials to help them. So. They are taking a little bit longer. This is something we're going to have to deal with sooner or later. We might have to trade for some of these things, but right now, no one's using any oil. Good. Nobody use any fuel. We're very short on fuel. Okay. We do have enough to get an officer. So I am thinking to get the out of supply penalty expert. That might actually help. So the man himself, Hideki Chojo, he's going to be our chief of army. Okay, because that will give us a steady stream of army XP, which we're desperately needing. We can also, I think we've got enough command power. We can give our field marshal a skill. I kind of like the charismatic skill for the recovery rate because it does help. It does help with. It does help with well getting their organization back when they get hurt. So we might. I think I'm going to assign this one, and we can also take the organization trait, but I'm going to hold off on that. And we have. We have General Yamashita. He could get the guerrilla fighter, which we don't really need because we're not planning to be. We're not going to be planning to be fighting defensive too much. We could get a scavenger trait for him, or we could get a fortress buster. We don't really need. The Chinese don't have any fortresses, so. Scavenger, I'm not really feeling that. I'd rather have something like Ambusher, so the infantry leader trait once he actually gets into battle. So I might hold off on that. And I don't think any of the other leaders has any available. Yeah, none of the other guys has any available traits. So we're just gonna hold off on that. Okay, we're as ready as we can be, I think. Okay, Marco Polo Bridge incident. Chinese authorities claim that the breaking point has been reached, and we have unwarranted aggression. What do you mean by unwarranted? Our aggression is completely warranted. So they are very annoyed, and if we needed an excuse to deal decisively with the Chinese, this is it. Yes, we are at 6% world tension. It's October 1936, and we are going within the next goal against China. So now that is done. We're going to get down to 2 speed because I need to see what's happening. And we are going down the industrial towards the industrial path first towards an additional research slot. And I think that's the only one we can get. Yeah, this is a different path. This is just bonuses. And that's a different path as well. Yeah, so I think we can get one more. So we definitely want the national research policy, which means we are going to go down this path as quickly as we possibly can. What does that need? National mobilization law, and that gives us war economy. So that actually moves us out of partial mobilization without us having to spend political power. So that's very much appreciated because that stuff is expensive. So, and it increases the military factory construction speed and all kinds of things. So it's all good. And that gives us military factories, and that gives us total mobilization. But yeah, national research, I'm not sure we want total mobilization just yet, because we're going to lose some recruitable, but we have other things which are going to increase, I think. So this is recruitable population plus 2.5, and this is recruitable minus 3. So overall, you can actually get up to total mobilization without paying too much of a price for it, because you can't get here without that anyway, unless we want to then pull down from total mobilization again. Anyway, for now, we have more stuff here to do, because we definitely want to strike all these things next, but for now we're going to do this, and we also have the army things that we have to do. Okay, we've got 3 military factories. Guns are on a good state. I am going to start putting more into bombers, because yeah, bombers are a thing. And we can now declare war in China. So yeah, if we ever needed an excuse, this is it. Is there anything that's showing up here that we need to do? Not really. Our inter-service rivalry is a little balanced towards the army right now, which is fine, because the army is the one that's mostly doing things. The dockyards are busy refitting ships, which is what they're supposed to be doing. And we're just building convoys just to have convoys. And yeah, we're not going to attack yet, but we may start the naval invasions. We'll have to see when we start the naval invasions. I'd probably want the intelligence agency up before we do that. So we're definitely going to be defending in the onset for a little bit, until we start the invasions and start pulling their troops off. So, and that is going to happen next episode. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.